else.
And it's important to us, too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Theisen and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
And just like that, we're off, we're running. It is another brand new live edition of Talking Ball. And when we say live on this Friday, we mean absolutely that. We are live out in the elements on this Friday, and we are live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club, just down the road from the studios, just down the road here on Highway 231. And why we are here, it is this week's Zone Deal. Coming up at 8 a.m., you're going to be able to get a round of golf for two with a cart for just $65 by going to WCCN.halfoffdeal.com, Drew. There could be worse places for us to spend our Friday show.
Yeah, it's a great place. I mean, it's beautiful right now. I mean, they got the maintenance, and they're mowing the grass right now right in front of us. It smells great here. It looks great. I mean, it's just a beautiful place to be right now here this morning at Cherokee Ridge.
And the director of golf of Cherokee Ridge joining us right out of the gates this morning. Pete Sands with us. This is a fantastic place, brother.
Guys, appreciate it. Good morning. It's brisk.
You know what? Yesterday I woke up, we went outside, and it was like, oh, my goodness, it felt like summer. Today it feels like fall, and I tell you, if there is golf weather in Alabama, this is it.
This is they call it Chamber of Commerce weather right here. This is this is as good as it gets.
Well, tell us a little bit about this course. Today's a big day for you guys.
It is. We just finished a greens renovation, so we went from bent grass greens to Tiff Eagle, and we actually have our Restore the Ridge event today. 1 o'clock shotgun. We got 120 players in it.
Oh, nice.
And so it should be a busy day. But yeah, I mean, it's picturesque is, I would say, how to describe this golf course.
It is picturesque right now. It is simply beautiful. And how long did it take, though, to make that change?
So it's actually the sprig process of greens, and that's the process that we did to switch over from the bent. As crazy as it sounds, we started in July, and it was basically just throwing grass clippings down, and you build a profile up to get them to what you guys are seeing right now. So they are just over 2 months old, and we couldn't be more happy, and they are rolling excellent. They are smooth and about as good as we can ask for.
And how often do you guys have to do this kind of procedure?
Not very often at all. So I mean, this was a major renovation for us. I mean, this was definitely an investment. This was something that this part of the country is in that kind of weird, where do you use a winter grass, do you use a southern grass, and that Tiff Eagle is kind of the best of both worlds. So they've had bent out here from the start, and it was summertime. Bent is always hard to maintain, so it was definitely time to make the move.
Well, obviously this golf course is one of those gems, but it's also one of those hidden gems as well, because you're out just a little bit from Huntsville. You're right there before Arab, but this course has a lot to offer for a lot of people.
You got to climb a mountain, but it's a gorgeous mountain to climb, and it's one of those that. So I'm actually new here, so I'm a month and a half in, and couldn't be happier. But I stepped foot on this property, and there's golf courses that have one signature golf hole. We have 18 of them. If you pick up one of our golf holes, 1 through 18, and put it on any other normal track, it becomes their signature golf hole. So it is definitely if you haven't been out here, just to come out here and and take a look at the character of the golf course is something you definitely have to do.
Well, coming up at 8 a.m., we're going to give everybody a chance to come out here because you'll be able to come out with a friend for $65 and a cart. But I tell you what, there's memberships now available. You guys are really kicking in to some big-time drives right now.
Destination golf in your own backyard. So that's kind of what we're gearing up for. So but for $250, it's all inclusive. That's $250 a month gets you golf cart. We have a resort style pool. We have a fitness center. Gets you all that. So $250 a month can get you a golfing experience like none other. So, and we're gonna be active. So I mean, like I said, we have the event this afternoon.
Right.
We'll have member tournaments at least once a month. We have games that we're starting next Friday. We're starting a dog fight on Fridays at 12:30 that is open to the public as well. So we would love for everybody to come out and partake in that, and win a little money while you enjoy this gorgeous track.
And then talk about the advantages of also playing golf in the fall.
I mean, so I'm new to the area. I'm from Florida.
Right.
I'm a Florida boy. So.
Yeah.
But you get weather like this, right? I mean, this is in Florida. We get this maybe once a year. You get that one day. You're like, okay, I need to drop everything I'm doing and get to the golf course. But I mean, we're one day into fall and we already have it. So it is definitely one of those that is the advantages of golf here in the fall are, pretty much every day of the week you can get this gorgeousness that we're dealing with this morning.
6,700 yards, am I right?
Yeah, not the longest golf course,
right.
But I mean it will challenge you for sure. So I mean, like I said, undulation, different looks, into greens. You will use all clubs in the bag. There's some golf courses that you just hit whale driver and then hit wedge and every green. Not out here. You're going to use every club in the bag, and then you get to putt on these brand new gorgeous Tip Eagle greens.
And you and I were talking, and all three of us were talking beforehand. This course has a lot of history. It's hosted a Nike.com event back in the day, and that now for people, that is what is being played at the Ledges right now. The Huntsville Championship, the Corn Ferry Tour was the Nike.com tour back in the day. It has played here. There has been a lot of big things that has happened here at Cherokee Ridge.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and that's kind of where the whole Restore the Ridge comes from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, trying to get it back to the day that the Nike Tour event was out here. We were just talking about the crazy stories of Darius Rucker having a private concert out here.
John Daly
has
been out
here in a charity event. So, knock on wood, we'll get back to that point where, Hootie's going to do a reunion tour and, make Cherokee a stop for him. But, it's Restore the Ridge. I mean, we're excited about it. We're pumped. The whole staff. We got, superintendent's doing a great job out there, Lester. And, we can, like I said, we couldn't be more happy for the direction the course is going right now.
Pete Sands with us, the director of golf here at Cherokee Ridge Country Club, right out of the gates this morning. Good times here. Pete, thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
And welcome to the area.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
sorry. I mean, this is the best we could do for you on the first day of fall.
Yeah. So appreciate it, guys. Thanks.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.
Pete Sands with us. Don't forget, coming up at 8 a.m., it is the latest zone deal, $65 worth of golf.
Thank you.
That's going to get you a round of golf for two and a cart here at Cherokee Ridge. So make sure you take advantage of that. Hey, we got a lot of stuff to get through, a lot of stuff to get to on the show this morning. And last night, Brian Harsin was on Tiger Talk. And Andy Bertram asked him about his quarterback situation and the injury updates coming out and all of this stuff. Here is Brian Harsin's response to everything.
One thing, this has always been a policy, but, we talk about guys that have season-ending injuries. We don't talk about every injury.
Right.
And, unfortunately, there's just a lot of information out there. These poor kids, they're just trying to focus on getting healthy if they're dinged up, trying to prepare themselves for the week. And, that becomes a storyline. And really the storyline for us is what we're trying to do to get prepared for Missouri. And, but those guys have handled it well. I really do. I think those guys have all taken it in stride. And we talk about the noise, and you got to block out that. And, unfortunately, it's impossible for 18 to 22-year-olds to be able to do those things. And so that's what we deal with. We probably spend more time on that than a lot of football that we want to be doing, unfortunately. And, it's not our advantage to really have those conversations and to give information out and those type of things. So everybody, that I've told you that it's able to play, that's really the case, because today is the day that we make decisions on players who are injured and whether they can go or not. You give them Monday, you really give them Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday is the day. If they can practice, then they can play in the game. And I've had that policy for a long time. So, it is unfortunate. We have to deal with those things, but that's what we do internally with our guys to make sure that they're focused on what we have to do to get our guys prepared and ready. And so, we go into this game and we know that we feel good about where our guys are at. We feel good about the competition that's happened throughout the week. And when we go out there and play, we'll have a quarterback on the field and he'll play well. And that's really our advantage, to leave it at that. And, I know people want to know that, but that's for our team, and that's got to be something that's respected. And I hope that is.
That was Brian Harsin last night on Tiger Talk.
Yeah, it's basically the response to the reports that Zach Calzada is injured, and now we know why he wasn't playing. I still think that's the biggest reason. His non-throwing shoulder needs another procedure. He will take a medical red shirt and miss the rest of the year. I know there was a supposed discussion that they thought about putting him in the game last week,
right?
But I can pretty much guarantee you that's why they didn't. And the young man just wasn't healthy. Decides to get his non-throwing shoulder worked on again, have a second procedure. I can't blame the kid. He wants to be healthy. And eventually, you find out why. Because there had to be something. There had to be another shoe to drop, because
you can't have Zach Calzada, who has SEC experience, come in, and you can't tell me and convince me that all of a sudden Robbie Ashford is better than Zach Calzada, and that Zach Calzada could not beat out two other guys or even become second string in this rotation.
He never got really a chance, because when he got to Auburn, he was hurt.
Right.
And then, as you know, he had the first surgery and missed spring practice. And then all he could basically do is, do some light throwing and do a little bit of 7-on-7. He never had any contact. And I think, once fall practice started, he was probably still having issues with the shoulder. And then you look at Auburn's struggles up front on the offensive line, and it's just a bad recipe.
Right.
I mean, for the young man. And so he's going to try to apply for a medical red shirt. I'm sure he'll get it. He should. It would restore his eligibility to 3 years. I mean, it's just become so hard to follow because of all this COVID stuff and eligibility being restored and all that kind of stuff to keep up with it at times. But again, he deserves a chance to get healthy. And, this is an Auburn team that doesn't have a lot of talent. They could have definitely probably used Zach Calzada, but when we started hearing Holden Grenier's name talked about this week and saying that he could possibly play, and it was being reported last night that they expect him to see some action, that's what was the alarm to me. I was like, okay, this guy's a true freshman. He didn't go through spring ball. He doesn't have any experience, and I was just like, it's one of those things where he needs to redshirt almost assuredly, but they may have to play him because they don't have any other options, because, again, the only two scholarship quarterbacks I think healthy enough right now are Holden and Robbie Ashford. And so you look at it, because TJ Finley's got an AC joint injury. He's played okay, not great thus far, but he's probably going to miss multiple weeks after that injury. And if Zach Calzada is also out, that's who you have left.
They started with 5 quarterbacks on scholarship at spring at Auburn. Mm-hmm. On Saturday, they're going to have 2 scholarship quarterbacks available to play.
Yeah. I mean, Bo Nix left, after the season. He went to Oregon, and I thought that was an alarming situation, because I thought at times he played well for Coach Harsin, but I think it was a situation where a lot of the guys that left Auburn and transferred, I don't know that they didn't like the coaching staff. I think it was more of I'm going to objectively take a look at this roster that is going to be around me next season, and the environment around Coach Harsin at the end of the season, where all the smoke was coming from, and they're like, okay, this is just not a good situation for me, not a good situation for me to finish my career, I'm going to have to go somewhere else and just with a clean slate and try to finish and try to have a good season. And I think when you look at it and you've seen Auburn thus far on the field, the product, it's been underwhelming. I mean, to say the least. I mean, they have not played well. They beat Mercer, but Auburn was going to beat Mercer, and then they struggled too much with San Jose State. I mean, when you're trailing at halftime, that is extremely alarming. And then they came back and won, made some plays, but still they struggled on both sides of the ball at times, offensively and defensively. So, no disrespect, but it's not like Alabama struggling with Texas. Texas has some big-time, athletes. That's a Power 5 program. San Jose State is a Group of 5 program that hasn't had a lot of success in the last several years. So when they're coming into Jordan-Hare and they have a lead at 10-7 at halftime, to me, that doesn't make you feel good about the direction of the program and really where the talent level is. And I think that's why some of these guys left. And just think about this: their two best offensive players, Tank Bigsby and Javarius Johnson, both of them were in the portal, and to the credit of Coach Harsin and his staff, they were able to talk them into coming back. So if you don't have those two, where are you? So this is just an Auburn team that I think is short on talent. It's going to be interesting to see how they play against Missouri. Robbie Ashford, he got a lot of time in the spring, but I think they also knew that Zach Calzada wasn't healthy, and they were trying to give him a long look and see what they had. And, of course, develop T.J. Finley. Finley has – I'm not sure he's improved a ton, and then now he's gotten banged up, and so you just don't have a lot of options.
Right.
And with Calzada deciding to shut it down, and that's his individual decision. If you're Auburn right now, as you said, Scott, you've got 3 scholarship quarterbacks left, and
2 left.
Well, I'm just saying Finley's there, but he's not healthy.
Yeah,
so,
you're right. Yes.
So I mean, you only have 2 healthy options.
And if you're Zach Calzada, and I'm just putting this out on the table.
Yeah.
You have the ability to come back for spring practice, but you haven't played this year. If you get that medical red shirt and you don't like the direction of this program, you can transfer.
Well, that's the thing with all this freedom the players are getting now. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be playing for the same coaching staff. And if you remember, there was some thought that he might move on from Auburn quickly because he chose Auburn out of the transfer portal, but he really had a connection with Austin Davis, who was going to be the offensive coordinator, but was only there for a couple of weeks from the Seattle Seahawks. They had, he had recruited, Calzada out of the portal, and there was some thought that, he didn't like the fact that, he had left the program, Austin had, and that Zach might move on, but he decided to stay, and I guess he and Eric Kiesau and Harsin sat down and talked, and so he gave it a shot, but he's still injured, and so if the coaching staff gets dismissed, while it gives everybody a clean slate, it also, you have no connection to said staff. And so a lot of the reason Bo Nix, I think, ended up playing for Dan Lanning at Oregon is because the OC was Kenny Dillingham, a guy that he had a previous relationship with at Auburn. So a lot of it is relationship-based, and so it's going to be interesting to see, one, how Auburn plays. Coming up on Saturday, because I'll be honest with you.
Right.
And I've said this. I tweeted it yesterday. I said must win for Coach Harsin on Saturday, and that's not taking a shot at Auburn or anything like that. It's just stating a fact. I mean,
the state of the program, where it's at right now, Saturday's game
is a must win.
And it's interesting when you look at how many different times. I did not realize this, that Eli Drinkwitz was on Brian Harsin's staff at Boise State at one time. I did not realize that there are so many ties between these two staffs.
Yeah, they are. They know each other well, and at one time Elijah Drinkwitz was at Auburn, so he's very familiar with Auburn and with Gus Malzahn too. So there's a lot of familiarity there, and you also have to understand too that Elijah Drinkwitz is in I don't know about a must-win situation, but he needs his team to perform well and get off to a good start. In SEC play, because they have been underwhelming in their pre-conference play as well, and he's in his 3rd year. But the thing that disturbs you is, he has been to a couple of bowl games, but their defense has not progressed, and he's on his third defensive coordinator in 3 years. He seems to be having trouble finding the right fit for his program, and we saw them struggle under Barry Odom, but they're struggling mightily under Elijah Drinkwitz. And to be honest with you, and some of that was, I think, some of the talent left to Barry Odom, but I think overall, when you look at it from Gary Pinkel, but I think the Missouri teams I saw 3 and 4 years ago were more talented than these. And so I know that Drinkwitz's last 2 recruiting classes have been in the top 20 in the country, but there needs to be some development shown there and some progress. And that's where year 3 where it should start kicking in, where some of this talent, if it was evaluated and coached properly, you should start seeing some results. So this is a big game for both these teams, for Auburn and Missouri.
Yeah. It's a big game, but, obviously Texas A&M, Arkansas highlights the biggest slate of games in the league, and then you got Tennessee and Florida. Those are for a lot of different reasons than Auburn and Missouri. Then you got Alabama, and then you got the Alabama game and Vanderbilt game, and that one there, Alabama should be 1-0 in SEC play after this is all said and done on Saturday. Vanderbilt's has been a great story, a great talk. They've exceeded the Vegas win total, and they have 3, which was 2.5. It's a great story for Clark Lee, but that story probably is not going to read very well on Saturday.
Well, there's still just too big a gulf between the rosters. They certainly look like with A.J. Swan, they found a young quarterback. It's interesting that Mike Wright's already been moved on from, but that had to do with turnovers. I think he turned the ball over too much for Clark Lee's liking against Wake Forest and didn't really give them an opportunity. And if you watch the game against Hawaii, they were very impressive, but at the same time, it was explosive runs, things of that nature. The passing game was a little bit non-existent. They're trying to create some balance. This young man is a true freshman who I think showcased a lot of ability from the state of Georgia, and he threw 4 touchdowns and brought them back against Northern Illinois. And let's be frank, they were a slight underdog on the road against Northern Illinois. They were down 2 touchdowns. He brings them back, and they win the game, and so they win 38-28. So they're coming in with a semblance of confidence, and at least they are 3-1 in year 2 under Clark Lee. They're showing progress defensively as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they match up against Alabama. But I just think when you look at the rosters overall, I predicted 52-7. I just don't, think that Vandy is going to be able to handle Alabama on the lines of scrimmage. I think Alabama's run defense has been really good so far. They're giving up about, I think a shade over 2 yards per carry. Vandy ran the ball effectively, really in all 3 games thus far this year. But I don't see them having much success on Saturday. And then you put that a lot on the plate of the freshman quarterback. And Alabama's going to have to certainly defend Will Shepard, their leading receiver, who had a huge game last week with 10 catches. But so far, I've liked what I've seen out of Alabama's young corners, and I just think Alabama's offensive line is starting to gel. And while I think Vanderbilt probably has a pretty solid first 11 on defense, a lot of it's going to be attrition and wearing down, and I think Alabama is going to wear down the Commodores on Saturday.
All right, we got to get a break in here from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. When we come back, Bob Godsey, Madison Academy head football coach, joins the program.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Good morning. Got a garbage truck on fire. This one's Highway 20 at Mitchell Road. That's just before 565 and I-65. Decatur Fire and Rescue's on the way. Had an accident at the entrance to the marina on 31. It should be out of the way. And we had 20 in the Beltline in Decatur reported. That one is off in a parking lot. Officers, construction workers, and first responders put their lives on the line every time they step on the roadway. Why not make it safer for them? Move over. It's the law. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeyes, Skywatch Traffic Center.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN. Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Tom Luganbill here from my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Football season is here, and as always, the best place to catch every game is downtown at Humphreys Bar and Grill. Humphreys is celebrating by bringing back their game day football specials. $2.50 Miller Lite, Yingling, and now $3.50 Yellowhammer Gold Pints. Anytime football is on. Live music continues every night with 5 o'clock Charlie, and don't forget about brunch on Sundays with Microwave Dave. The best place to catch all the games all season long is Humphreys Bar and Grill.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is Attorney Tommy Sinyard on behalf of Sinyard Law, and again proud to be a sponsor of All Things Football here on ESPN Radio. My son Bart and I started our own law firm July 1 and are very proud and excited to be bringing you our 50 years of collective national award-winning injury trial law experience. Check us out on the web, sinyardlaw.com.
Sinyard Law, nationally recognized, locally respected.
Hi everybody, Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314.
This is Steve Moulton from The Drive. Join us this afternoon from 5 to 7 with Wes Neighbors and me. Now back to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Welcome back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond with you. We are live this morning. I tell you what if we could paint a picture to the view that we have this morning to start the show, it is simply fantastic. We are live here from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. They are this week's zone deal, $65 for a round of golf for two and a cart here to Cherokee Ridge, and that goes live at 8 a.m., and the view is simply fantastic. But we need to flip the script and talk some high school football. And SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center is a proud sponsor of Madison Academy football, and they invite you to visit their Saturday sports clinic for all those sports-related injuries. Each Saturday from 8 a.m. to 9, visit 4715 Whitesburg Drive. It's the SportsMed Saturday Sports Clinic. And our next guest is going to be busy tonight. He's not going to be able to get that zone deal today because he's got something tonight.
Yes, he certainly does. His Mustangs are coming off of a 48-0 win at Bill Washington Stadium against the Danville Hawks. They came out of their bye and played exceptionally high-level football. And again, SportsMed always sponsors our segment with our next guest and our weekly visit with Bob Godsey, the head football coach of the Madison Academy Mustangs, and he's joining us now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, guys. I'm good.
Good.
We are good, Coach.
We are really good, Coach. I mean, seriously, Coach, if you could see the view that we have this morning, I mean, it just is peaceful and tranquil, and I mean, it's great. It's good for all the high school coaches that have big games tonight.
Well, like you said, I'm very envious. I think it'd be a lot more relaxing to play 18 today as opposed to wait until 7 o'clock.
Well, it's probably would, Coach, but certainly I know you had to be pleased with your football team and the business-like approach they took last week at home. I know when you came on with us, you were pleased with their approach and pleased with the week of practice. After you watched the film, what stood out to you about their performance against Danville?
Well, I think just overall, we've been very happy with how our guys continue to grow. As we've said many times, we're a young football team, and they're continuing to grow, continuing to work, continuing to improve, and as long as we can do that, then good things are going to happen. Continuing to show some maturity, which you have to show during a bye week, having some downtime there, using it wisely, and I get a lot of calls, maybe just guys asking about how to approach a bye week and that type of thing. I think everybody's a little bit different. Every situation from year to year is a little bit different in how you do that and kind of what your team maybe needs. And, I think our guys responded well to what we did, worked on ourselves a lot, just looking to continue to improve and develop a few more guys maybe that can help us depth-wise down the road.
Yeah, last year you had a veteran squad, more of a veteran squad going into the bye week. This year, a little bit of a younger squad. How do you, as a coaching staff, differentiate between a younger group and an older group as far as how you handle it?
Well, I think with this particular group, we just need to continue to grind a little bit. We did give them a little bit of time off just to try to get some nicks and bruises, things like that taken care of, so we gave them a little bit of a time off. But we had 3 really pretty, tough days in the middle of the week there on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The guys responded well. That's been the biggest key is just the eagerness, the attention of our guys, just that continue to work to improve, and that's what you want to see. And I think that's. You're seeing that on Friday nights on the field as we continue just to play a little better. We've got to continue to do the little things a little better. We're continuing to grow defensively just in terms of communication and working together. A lot of parts working together there, and we just got to continue to grow, especially on that side of the ball.
And, Coach, I wanted to ask you that. It's a perfect segue. I know early you guys were young and were struggling a little bit in the secondary. How has the secondary progressed in your mind since the opening games against Deschler and Randolph?
Well, I think it's very well. I think, we caused several turnovers back there. First of all, we played 2 really good teams. I think that in that first 2 games, they were completely opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of how they're going to attack you. So even though it was tough during that time, trying to prepare for that and not having a lot of experience, now all that becomes a positive because we've seen all those things. This is an intelligent team. They continue to grow. We've been able to develop a couple more guys back there because of a couple of minor injuries, that type of thing. So I think we have a few more pieces to the puzzle to go back there. But mainly just seeing it in games, seeing it at game speed. It's one thing to have to make an adjustment or communicate with a guy in practice, but then have to do it at game speed. It's a whole other thing. And now that we have 4 games under our belt, those guys are continuing to get better, and that's what we want to see tonight.
Coach, you open up. You come. You have Madison County this week. You come off that bye week, and then you get Danville, and then now it's Madison County. Do you like that, coming out of that bye week, then playing a non-region game, and then getting back into region play, or would you prefer it to get back into region play?
It really doesn't matter. Typically, most of the time, 18 region. This is kind of an open week is this week, so we caught it a few weeks earlier this time. That goes into kind of where you are as a team as well. But it really doesn't matter. There's been times in the past where we really needed a bye week because you had a bunch of guys beat up and banged up later in the season. But it falls where it falls, and a lot of times you don't have a lot of say so on it. As far as a coach, and when you put together a schedule, you may say we won't try to get a bye week on week 5, but a lot of times it's just depending on where and how you get games.
And we're talking to Bob Gotze, the head football coach in his 4th season with the Madison Academy Mustangs. They will be on the road at Madison County High School tonight. You'll hear on our streaming network, you're going to hear Glenn Laird and Steve Moulton on the call as the Mustangs look to continue their hot streak. Coach, I know you guys played 2 very good football teams in Dessler and Randolph to start the season, and you said you've seen a marked improvement from your secondary. As you and your staff, and I know you got some veterans that you've worked with, and they've been around this game a long time. How do you, make sure your players stay confident and just trust the scheme and what you guys are teaching them when you come out of the gates and don't have success?
Well, you just, like I said, you need to win. I think we beat a quality opponent, JB Benton. I don't think they will lose again. So you look at our first 3 opponents. They have a combined. They've lost 2 games among the three teams. So we played some really good people. But we really need wins cure a lot of issues.
Right.
So to get that win against JB Pennington was really, big for our psyche. Starting that game, we started, kind of on fire. It was kind of like, I think, coming out of those 2 games, I really felt like our players knew we were close. Even though we had lost those 2 games, we had not played, bad. Now, it did not look good at times, but also done a ton of really good things. So I think our guys recognized that and saw that we were close, and still feel that. We got a lot of work we still need to get done, but I think our guys remain confident the whole time. And we've been honest from the get-go with them, going back to last spring and early, that, hey, this is going to be a work in progress for a long few years. And I think our guys had a really good understanding of that from the beginning. And like I told you guys, as a coach, you're saying there's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some growing pains. Now, deep down, you're really hoping there's not going to be starting 0-2 growing pains. But that is what happened, and we'll be better for it down the road.
Well, Coach, let's talk about Madison County tonight. What have you noticed from the Tigers?
Well, they're an extremely dangerous team, I think. Defensively, they're pretty stout. They have 2 defensive ends that really can cause you some problems if you're not handling your business. So they're an extremely dangerous team. Madison Academy is a pretty good rival. Traditionally, doing a little research, Madison Academy has not always played that well at Madison County. So we, in the 2 times I've been over there, we played extremely bad one time, we played extremely good one time. So hope we can get the second part of that and just handle our business, and control the things that we can control, and do the things that we need to do, and I think we'll be happy come the end of the night.
And, Coach, I know you want to round into a great football team, as you said, in all 3 phases, but it's always good to start a game like you did at home, coming off of a bye, returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Well, that's happened. The first 2 times, basically, 2 times we touched the ball and were able to score. Kickoff returns, something we've been trying to put some emphasis on. We have some guys that can take it the distance back there, so we've been trying to work on that as much as we can. It's kind of a hard thing to do in practice, but once again, being able to get some game reps it has helped. And like I said, with Mario or Judd or Ken Cherry, we have some guys that we feel like if they get their hands on it, can change the game. Had a big play offensively this year with Jackson Ridge taking one, to the house. I think the second offensive play that we were able to run. So we just need to continue to grow. We basically started this year completely over. Our kicking games continue to grow. When you look and say, we had brand new snapper, brand new holders, brand new kickers, brand new punters. We really did start, and these guys are continuing to grow. Really proud of Jackson and what he's done in the running game. Reese Baker snapping, MJ Drake and holding, and then our kicker Joe Radak continues just to get better each week, especially with the kickoffs. And when you're covering those kicks, be able to place the ball where you're asked to place it, really does help. And as he gets older and stronger, he's going to be a weapon.
And Coach, how satisfying is it to watch guys like Justin Collins and Jackson Reese make big plays and really start to gain confidence as you coach them and teach them, and they start to expand their roles on your team?
Well, that's really what it's all about when you watch all of our guys. As you guys, these guys never wavered. I mean, they never once questioned. They never questioned themselves or their teammates or the coaches or anything. They from day one just showed up and continued to work. And even when things got tough, I heard Kirby Smart say the other day, everybody's all over Georgia bandwagon. We haven't faced any adversity yet. He said, we'll see where we are after we face some adversity. So with the start that we got off to, our guys had to face some adversity right there. They handled it well, and we'll face some more probably tonight, down the road, which will depend on how good a football team as we are. Will depend on how we handle that adversity.
No question. Well, Coach, we appreciate the time, and good luck to the Mustangs as you guys continue 3A Region 7 play on the road at Madison County. You've put together a great stretch of football since you started the season against that difficult slate you talked about. The Mustangs certainly have improved each and every week, and we look forward to continuing that with your squad. And we always enjoy the time with you and the visits each week, but good luck to the Mustangs tonight as they look to stretch their winning streak to 3 games. So thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks. That's head coach Bob Gozzi, Madison Academy. Of course, today's interview brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. Give them a call today, 256-881-5151, to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. And just real quick, some of the games around North Alabama tonight. Huntsville High, it's homecoming. They're going to welcome Mae Jemison there, so Huntsville looks to continue out-of-region games tonight all over the place. Austin going to welcome Gardendale. Buckhorn, you'll be able to hear that game on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. They're going to welcome Guntersville tonight. We'll talk about that one in hour 2. Muscle Shoals welcomes James Clemens. And if you're Muscle Shoals and Scott Basin's truth, all non-region games for Muscle Shoals this year comes from 7A. They are not playing anybody but 7A opponents in their non-region games. Columbia will welcome Tanner tonight. Other games from around the area, Brewer's going to welcome Sardis. Scottsboro's going to welcome Priceville. Priceville's had an amazing start to
Chris
the year.
Foster, they've been really good. They haven't given up a point. Now, this is not a non-region game tonight for them, but they haven't given up a point in 4A Region 8.
Scottsboro welcomes Priceville, as we mentioned. Ardmore will welcome Elkmont. Arab is having one of their best starts in school history as they welcome Fort Payne tonight. So a lot of great games going on throughout the area. DAR will welcome Clements. Just a few of those. We'll talk more about some more of those coming up in hour number 2. But let's get that break in. We're live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club when we return.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
They have all the eastbound traffic on Highway 20 just before Interstate 65 stopped. Had a garbage truck on fire. Had a couple of minor accidents reported earlier. They appear to be moved out of the way now, not causing any major headaches. Are you over 35 and overweight? 7 different hormones can make it impossible for you to lose weight. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeyes, Skywatch Traffic Center.
Mercury Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, Mercury Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. You want the right specialist for your recovery. At SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, we understand every body is different. Your muscles and bones are unique, as is your body. Our SportsMed specialists offer innovative treatments and minimally invasive procedures, allowing you to quickly return to the life you love. Locations in Huntsville, Madison, Athens, and Decatur, and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com. Improving performance, improving lives.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. You know, you'll hear people say we're like a family, but here at the Lackey Law Firm, that's really true, not just a saying.
I'm Justin Lackey. With my father and my sister, we have a special connection to each other.
I'm Jennifer Lackey. At the Lackey Law Firm, when we take on your case, you become part of our family. You really do.
And we'll always do whatever it takes to get everything you deserve.
If you're injured, you worry about getting well, not about paperwork or insurance companies or figuring out how to get to your lawyer's office. I'll come to you.
We worry about your case so you don't have to.
When you've been injured, we know that your case is probably the biggest thing going on in your life. More important than almost anything else.
And it's important to us too, for one simple reason. Family takes care of each other, and at the Lackey Law Firm, we'll take care of you.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
All right, where are we going for breakfast?
I kind of want a breakfast quesadilla.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing quesadillas for breakfast these days.
Well, Taco Bell is.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, they have this Bell breakfast box now that comes with this breakfast quesadilla that's super cheesy and a hash brown.
Okay, I wish I knew about this earlier.
And it has Cinnabon Delights and a coffee in it.
Why did I not know about this earlier?
Try the new $5 Bell breakfast box, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations during breakfast hours only, 7 to 11 a.m. for a limited time. Contact local store for prices and participation when fair. Tax extra. Drinks exclude freezes.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
2 maids and a mop. That's all you need to know to clean house. 2 maids and a mop is an award-winning company, bonded and insured. Hire them for yourself, or they have gift cards if you want to make someone else's day. Find out more online at 2maidshuntsville.com. A maid service worth talking about. 2 maids and a mop take care of everything. They supply all the cleaning equipment needed. Call 256-883-6243. The only finger you'll need to lift is the one to call them.
4 Heisman Trophy winners, 33 Southeastern Conference championships, 18 national championships. Hi, this is Chris Stewart of the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Listen to Alabama football all season long on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
And just like that, we are back. Talking Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Scott Tyson, Drew DeArmond. We are live this morning from Cherokee Ridge Country Club here in Union Grove, just in between Arab and Huntsville. Just a short jaunt up the highway, up 431, 231. I think it's 431 up here, just up the jaunt and just right off the road there. Beautiful venue, beautiful. The sun has come up, and I mean, we have got a picturesque setting for you on a Friday morning. But coming up top of the hour, you'll be able to get the zone deal for Cherokee Ridge Country Club. $65 for a round of golf for two with cart. So really it's like $32.50 if you want to split it for a round of golf and a cart for here at Cherokee Ridge. So you can't beat that deal. $431 if you're Smokey Mike tells me it's $431 if you're going to Guntersville, $231 if you're coming here. So there, I got it right. Wanted to make sure everybody headed in the right direction. There was some NFL football last night on Amazon. I got to keep saying that.
That Amazon Prime thing, it just it still throws me. I mean, I know it was the Cleveland and the Steelers. Yeah,
Kirk Street is working with Al Michaels.
Yeah, he is. I saw some of the highlights. I saw Najee score. I mean, I know Cleveland won the game. I didn't get to see any of it.
29-17.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it, but I know that the great Al Michaels is working with Kirk Herbstreit. Yeah, I mean, it's still just sort of, I have to process that. I mean, that's where, televised sports is going. But it's just hard for me to, fathom sometimes.
All right, 29-17, that was your NFL score from last night. Anyway, your SEC, as we were talking about at the top of the show, 256-576-4977. You can get in on all of the conversations this morning. We were talking some college football, getting you ready for what will be another great weekend of college football. If you're looking at that SEC slate, though, I mean, there's only really a couple games, conference games that really have a ton of implications. 20th ranked Florida, 11th ranked Tennessee, and then you have 10th ranked Arkansas, 23rd ranked Texas A&M. Those are your two monster games within the conference this weekend.
I mean, those are the two biggies, no doubt about it. Dirt Neck gonna see if he can get some revenge against Sam Pittman. I'm never going to apologize for calling him that. You're never going to change my opinion. You're never going to censor me. Nobody in the media is going to. I don't give a damn. What you try to tell me or text me or whatever, you're never going to. I'm going to show you professional respect when you're on my show, but I am going to say what I feel like when you're not on my show. And when and of course when I'm talking to my audience, and my audience agrees with me, they all think Jimbo's a scumbag. He is. He talks out of both sides of his mouth, as do a lot of people in the media.
That game will be a 6 o'clock game on ESPN. Texas A&M and Arkansas. Texas A&M still surprisingly a 2-point favorite in that one.
We'll see. Maybe Max Johnson in his second game. He'll get better protection. He is a good quarterback. I think he proved that at LSU. He made some plays. As Owen Buchanan said on our show yesterday, he did throw for 2,800 yards. He threw 25 touchdowns. He didn't have the greatest supporting cast. He certainly didn't have an $800,000 wide receiver that maybe won't go to a party this time and will be eligible to play. And so he's, so hopefully he'll have that weapon, at his disposal.
Right.
I mean, he's got Devon Achane, who's a really good running back, who's a very explosive athlete. They have the pieces. Now their offensive line's got to play with more consistency. And, as we talked to John Neighbors yesterday, the issue with Arkansas is their secondary. They don't have Jalen Catalon, one of the best players in the country, maybe the best safety in the SEC. He's out for the season, had a lot of injury issues. If you watch the Cincinnati game, and I watched a little bit of that game, you saw, and he you also saw what Bobby Petrino at Missouri State did to them last week, too, because that's how they built the lead. They're giving up a lot through the air. Now, they're rushing the passer. They've been disruptive. They forced some turnovers, but they've given up a lot on defense. And so it's going to be interesting to see if Texas A&M, who's been really underwhelming offensively, their defense has been okay. It's not been great. It's been probably good enough to be undefeated. They should have beaten Appalachian, but they didn't. But again, I think overall, when you look at Texas A&M, their big problems are offensively. And it's like I've told you, when you don't change your playbook since 1998 and you're still pretty much running the same stuff, that's why Texas A&M is struggling. And even Olin admitted that yesterday. There's a lot of Aggies wondering why in year 5, the offense is struggling. It's struggling because it's, they criticize Bill O'Brien for not being creative. I mean, good Lord, he's freaking Homer Smith compared to, to Dirt Neck.
Do you think Alabama opens it up tomorrow against Vanderbilt? Do you think they try to take more shots?
I think they're going to try to be more physical. I think they're going to continue to take a long look at Tyler Booker at left guard. I think they're going to continue to try to, get the running game, get a hat on a hat, and be more consistent and take more off of Bryce Young. And then if they do, then the big plays will happen, and then I think the receivers will still make plays. But I still think it's a different kind of football team. I think Alabama needs to play to the strength and the depth of their running back room and to play to this offensive line, which I don't think is as poor as some say. I think they're still coming together. I mean, people, they have too much, video game mentality that these guys are just plug-and-play guys, and a lot of times it's about getting better. It's what Coach Bob Godsey just said about his Mustangs.
Right.
You have to just keep working and keep getting better, keep developing depth and confidence. And you also have to understand, too, that the wide receiver core, a lot of these guys are new, and then they still don't have all the pieces either. So, to me, Alabama has shown a lot of growth so far. I think they can continue to expand their palette. And then you look at a guy like Amari Niblack, who had that 15-yard touchdown catch. He's somebody, that's a positive sign that he's starting to get on the field. He could be a red zone option down the stretch for Alabama. I'm anxious to see if he gets more reps on Saturday against the Commodores.
All right, that's hour 1 in the books, live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. Coming up to kick off hour number 2, Lance Reese, Guntersville head football coach, will join the program. They're going to tangle with Buckhorn tonight. We're going to get his thoughts coming up next.
Know that your car or truck or SUV may be worth up to 30 or 40% more than it was last year? It's true. Bobby White back again for Woody Anderson Ford, and now is the perfect time to trade in and trade up to a gold certified or blue certified pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or crossover. While our new vehicle inventory continues to build back, our Ford Blue Advantage certified pre-owned vehicles are nearing 100 models to choose from, and a good variety too. Woody Anderson Ford Gold certified vehicles are 6 years or younger with less than 80,000 miles and have passed 172-point inspection by factory certified technicians. They have a 14-day, 1,000-mile money-back guarantee, a great comprehensive limited warranty, 24-hour roadside assistance, and go home with full tank of gas and a fresh oil change. Get nearly a new ride and none of the worries. Woody Anderson Ford, Jordan at Sparkman. Hope to see you soon.
WCZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
They have all the eastbound traffic on Highway 20 just before Interstate 65 stopped. Had a garbage truck on fire. Had a couple of minor accidents reported earlier. They appear to be moved out of the way now, not causing any major headaches. Are you over 35 and overweight? 7 different hormones can make it impossible for you to lose weight. Find out with a free quiz at 2030huntsville.com. Captain Nick in the North Parkway, Popeyes, Skywatch Traffic Center.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
TOC Sports has been there for you. Now, you're probably asking yourself, what does that mean? It means for more than 20 years, Alabama's largest orthopedic group has been there providing coverage and care to more schools and student athletes in the Tennessee Valley than any other group. It means whether you are the star football player, the all-region volleyball ace, or someone who hurt their knee in a weekend pickup basketball game, TOC Sports physicians are proud to have the opportunity to care for all your orthopedic needs. It means for parents, coaches, athletes, desk jockeys, or even weekend warriors, TOC Sports physicians continue to meet and exceed the orthopedic and sports medicine needs of our community. But most importantly, during these challenging times, we're here for you now, and will continue to be here. So as long as there are players on the field, games to be played, and contests to be won, the orthopedic specialists from TOC Sports will be ready to help. We don't know what the future holds, but you can count on the TOC Sports team to stay committed to you, so you can stay in the game. Call 256-539-2728 today and ask to see a TOC Sports physician. Check them out online, also Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Just like that, we're off. We're running. It's hour 2 of Talking Ball here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. We're live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club here in Union Grove. It's this week's zone deal, WZZN.halfoffdeal.com. That is going to get you $65 worth of golf for 2. You get a round of golf for 2 and a cart for just $65 here at Cherokee Ridge. All you got to do is go to WZZN.halfoffdeal.com, and that'll get you out on the course. You can print it, you can use it, you can bring it here and enjoy a beautiful round of golf on this on the newly done greens here at Cherokee Ridge. Now, also coming up tonight on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, the Buckhorn Bucks will tangle with the Guntersville Wildcats, and that is a non-region contest, and Guntersville playing upper class in that one. Buckhorn coming down, but still, though, that is going to be a very, very tough contest.
Yeah, it's going to be a picturesque setting over at Buckhorn, no doubt. We look forward to being over there, and Austin Clay and I will be calling the game tonight, and where they're going to be playing one of the best teams in North Alabama, one of the most consistent programs, and against one of the best coaches in our state. And we've had him on many times on Talking Ball and also on our coaches show, and he's been very good to us. I know he's been on the Woody Anderson Ford North Alabama.
Yeah, he joined us last week after their win.
Absolutely. So he's been very good to us, and he's been kind enough to carve out some time this morning here as we are at Cherokee Ridge Golf Club. This beautiful picturesque setting. As it's it's brisk today, but it's the beautiful weather, and it's going to be some beautiful weather tonight, hopefully for high school football. And Lance Reese, the head football coach of the Guntersville Wildcats, is now with us on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, welcome back to the show. You're with Drew and Scott. Good morning to you, sir.
Hi, thanks. Glad to be here.
Oh, well, Coach, let's talk about it tonight. A non-region contest for you. These games, they're still important. Even though they're not region games, they're still important games.
Yeah, they really are. And we traditionally have not played Buckhorn in the past, but kind of looking for a team that was going to have speed like we run into in the playoffs. And Buckhorn's, right up the road, 6'18", with a lot of speed and athleticism. And Matt Patterson does a great job as head coach. And I've been at Guntersville for a long time. I knew his dad, Pod Patterson. Yeah. He was there at ARAB, so I was actually the defensive coordinator here when Matt was playing quarterback for ARAB. Brother Wes played as well, so I've known the Patterson family for a long time.
Yeah, and Coach, it's interesting. I was just looking at the series. I was thinking that maybe it would be the first time ever, but I guess back the last time you guys played was in '87, Guntersville against Buckhorn. It has been a long time though, but I figured you knew Coach Pod Patterson, and because I know you've been at Guntersville for a long time, for just about your entire career, and you're very familiar with the Marshall County rivalries, and of course Arab's a big rivalry for Guntersville, but it's going to be an interesting matchup with Buckhorn. They're young, they're kind of rebuilding, but they've had a couple of near misses, including the Cotton Classic against Hazel Green. As you've kind of studied them, what's impressed you about the Bucks?
As I mentioned before, they do have speed, got a number of good athletes, play two different quarterbacks. They both do things well. One's more of a passer and one's more of a runner. Defense, they've got a number of good athletes. They're well coached, and we just think it's going to be a good challenge. It's good to see a team that, like we said, we have not normally seen, and got to go on the road, so kind of get us reset for the second half of the region schedule.
Yeah, Coach, let's talk about the first half of the region schedule. Guntersville head coach Lance Reese joining us this morning. Your thoughts on your team's performance so far?
Yeah, we're happy to be 5-0. You know, we started the year, we had lost 7 starters on both sides of the ball and had to play a quarterback and a running back, so we really did not know what kind of season to expect. We just knew we were going to work hard and try to have the best team we could have, and the guys have been working hard and trying to improve every week, and I have to commend my assistant coaching staff. We've kind of changed some schemes on both sides of the ball, different than what we've been doing the past few years to kind of meet the talents of this year's team. So far, it's working well. We know we're still a work in progress, though, but we're happy to be undefeated at this point of the season.
And, Coach, I know you've got a new quarterback this year, Antonio Spurgeon. He's played well for you. Talk about the progress you've seen him make.
Yeah, Antonio actually started at outside linebacker for us last year, but he's always been the backup quarterback, and we were fortunate that he got to play a lot last year. And kids have got a lot of confidence in Antonio. He's more of a dual threat player. Mm-hmm. He's really improved his passing as the years gone on, but he's also a threat to make plays with his legs running the ball. So last year and the past few years have been more of an RPO team. This year we're more of a we'll throw the ball, but we're more of a quarterback run or a run team, I would say.
Yeah, well, Coach, one of the trademarks, I guess, of a Guntersville football team is power and, the physicality. You love to run the ball. That is a staple of a Guntersville football team. Not one, not two, but 3 running backs with 30 or more carries on the season. Yeah,
we're fortunate to have 3 guys that we feel like can contribute running the ball. We've had Logan Tate, who was all-state runner for the past 3 years. He got most of the carries, but this year we got C.J. Gomera, who's a senior. He's been in our program forever, so it's great to see him finally get that position start. And then Julian Jordan is a sophomore who's he made some big plays for us, and we kind of use those pretty much equally at running back. And then, as you mentioned, Antonio himself, he's got 30 carries, so we feel like we can kind of spread the load out, and it does, as an old defensive guy, it does make it more difficult to defend when you've got a number of people that can carry the ball.
Yeah, there's no doubt. It's being the multifaceted coach. And how have you seen your offense grow over this strong start? We know there's always expectations at Guntersville. You guys had a great regular season last year, got a really tough opening first-round playoff matchup and lost a hard-fought game to a very talented Ramsey squad, 28-20. But how have you seen the squad grow under Antonio Spurgeon and kind of, as you said, making a few subtle changes offensively this season with this new group?
Right. We started with a tough game against on the road at Southside, and we kind of kept the offense as simple as we could because we didn't know what Antonio could handle, but he did a good job, and then slowly as we've gone on, we've gone up tempo some at times, which for a first-year quarterback, it's hard enough just to handle the offense, let alone trying to go fast. But as he's kind of gotten more confident in himself, we've managed to do that. So we're changing tempo at times, and then he's shown the ability to throw the ball, so we're not having to wait till 3rd and 8 to throw it. So we've got confidence in him to throw it basically on any down, and we've got a number of receivers. Brandon Fusell, the all-state receiver, we've got coming back. Sam Kennedy's also a starter coming back. So we've got some receivers that need to touch the ball well. And once again, when you can have more balance on your offense, it just makes you tough to defend.
Yeah, and speaking of defending, your team has defended the ball pretty well. 2 shutouts. You've given up 7, you've given up 6, and then 14 to Boaz last week. Defensively, this team, I know you're at that midway point, but assess just the defensive effort of this team so far.
Yeah, we're pleased with where we are defensively. We're probably not as big as we've been in the past, but we've got a number of guys who really run well to the ball, so we may have more speed than we've had. We transitioned. Last year we were a 4-man front. We've gone back to a 3-man front this year, which makes us a little more multiple, but only got 4 starters back, but all 4 of those guys really doing a good job for us. E.J. Havens is a junior linebacker that makes all of our calls, and then I mentioned Fusel before. He's one of our few 2-way starters, but he's back there at safety, and to have a senior at safety really means a lot to our defense. Evan Taylor's a corner that's returning, and Evan only plays well on defense. Last week he returned 2 kickoffs for touchdowns against Boaz, and then earlier in the year against Lawrence County he had 2 punt returns for touchdowns. So to have a guy like Evan on special teams making big plays is important, and Cole Bryan's a defensive lineman that's a 3-year starter back. So we only got 4 back, but those 4 are really important to our overall defense.
Really is, Coach, and I got to tell you, Brandon Fusel, it seems like he's been there forever at Guntersville. He's one of the best athletes to come through there in a long time. He's got 4 interceptions from the safety spot. He's your leading receiver, also very good on the basketball court for the Wildcats. Talk about his ability and how you've seen him develop as a player.
Yeah, Brandon's actually a 4-year starter, which is rare, but I think what makes him a good basketball player also makes him a good football player. As you mentioned, he's really, really good at safety. He's got a knack of making interceptions, and when he does, I think he's returned 2 this year for touchdowns. And then on offense, really smart player, runs routes well. He and Antonio are kind of developing now, trusting each other, so he's catching more balls as the season's going on. But Brandon's really important for us, and certainly he's got an offer to UT Martin, and I think he'll get some basketball offers as well. So get offers in multiple sports. That does a lot for him as an athlete.
Well, let's talk about the game tonight with Buckhorn. X's and O's, what have you seen from the Bucks?
Yeah, they spread it out on offense. With the 1 quarterback there, I guess they've got more balance. They're more of a passing team. And then when they bring in number 7 at quarterback, they're more of maybe a quarterback run option type team. So for us, it's almost like you're having to defend or prepare to face 2 different offenses. So that's a challenge. They've got some receivers that are very athletic that can make plays. As I mentioned before, they've got more speed than we've probably seen the first half of the season in our region. So it'll be good to see how we fare against speed and athletes, because obviously that's something you can't simulate. You've got to wait till you pull up and get out there, and the game kicks off to get used to that game top speed.
Well, and Coach, as far as your schedule, you haven't had your bye week yet. You guys are a couple of weeks away from that when you'll, of course, on October the 7th, you'll take your bye before setting up what could be a huge region game against, your county rival, Arab. But was that something you did strategically this year, Coach, as far as setting up the bye later in the season, or is that just how the schedule kind of fell out?
No, the schedule, Arab and Scottsboro actually came down from 6A to 5A, so they're in our region.
That's right.
And you really have no control over the order in which your region games. You just go to the region meeting, and the order is kind of drawn at random. So, when I looked at the schedule, it popped out to me that we've got this stretch. We've got to go 2 Buckhorn, 2 Scottsboro, 2 Arab. So that's 3 really good teams and 3 teams on the road. So this is kind of the stretch we've known that was going to be tough for us from the first day that we saw the schedule.
Mm-hmm. And I know you guys won a really hotly contested game with Arab last year. What's it like now having them back in the same region? Because I know historically my family's from Guntersville, so I know the Albertville and Arab rivalries are really huge for the Wildcats.
Yeah, it's really big to have Arab back in the region, and Scottsboro is another team that was. They were, even though they're not in our county, they're just right up the road. So that's kind of been a rivalry game. So to have 2 old rivals back in the region in Scottsboro and Arab, it's going to be a tremendous challenge. But as far as kids getting excited and the community getting excited, that'll be that'll be 2 big games and 2 important region games as well.
No question. And Coach, defensively for your squad, you mentioned E.J. Havis leading the way. The Havis name is big in Guntersville, no question about it. I know there's a lot that we just talked to Bob Gotze about this, about growth and developing depth. Who are some of the younger players, though, that you've seen? Because, as you said, you only had 4 returning starters defensively, so obviously some guys, the culture's strong at Guntersville, and you've seen some young players mature quickly and step up in new roles this year on that side of the ball.
Sure, we've got Avery Clifton's a sophomore, and he's actually playing the Mike linebacker position. And primarily he played JV last year, but we saw glimpses of him in JV. And then, as I tell kids all the time, if you want to get noticed, make plays on special teams. He was a big special teams guy last year, but he's made a lot of plays for us as a sophomore. And then Cal Bearden is a senior that played some for us last year, but this is his first time starting. He's really done a good job for us. Brooks Frazier and Nick Carfano are 2 guys that didn't start last year, but they've done a good job on the defensive line for us. John Michael McElrath, senior, he started on the offense last year, just moved over to the defensive side. So to have him, Dave Peterson's also a junior that played a lot last year. So all those guys that are first-time starters have really made a big impact, and they've worked hard every week. But playing defense, we've got this spread offense we're going to see, and the next week we've got to face Scottsboro running no double slot option. So it's almost like starting over next week. It's really a challenge to play good defense when you're playing good teams.
It really is. Yep. And Coach, I've got to congratulate you too. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention this, but you've been in just your 13th year as head football coach, and you just recently passed the great Joe Chorba, and you guys play in Chorba Lee Stadium. What does it mean to you, a guy that's spent so much time at Guntersville? You worked your way up from an assistant coach to the head coaching job there. You've basically become an institution in Guntersville. What does it mean to become the all-time winningest coach at a place with a tradition of the Wildcats?
Yeah, I'm fortunate to be at a place like Guntersville. The tradition does mean a lot to us, and to play at Chorba Lee Stadium has always been a point of pride for me. I never got to meet Coach Chorba, but I got to meet Coach Lee. He'd come by and talk to us and tell us stories about the old days. And then our field name, Phil Awesome Field, and Coach Isom.
Yeah, that's right.
Coach won state championship in 2006, and I was the defensive coordinator. I've got nothing but great respect for Coach Isom. So just to kind of be mentioned alongside those guys means a lot to me. And we're going to try to keep that great history tradition going every week.
You certainly are. And Coach, what's going to be the key for your team tonight? Of course, we don't want you to give away the game plan. We look forward to seeing your squad travel up to Buckhorn tonight in Newmarket and compete. But what's going to be the keys for Guntersville to stay unbeaten and get a big road win and continue to improve?
Right. Well, anytime you're going on the road, and I think this will be our longest road trip of the year, it'll be about an hour and a half. You want to make sure you get off to a fast start, because there's all kind of things that can, get your mind. We've got to travel there, and who's forgot this and that. We've got to get off the bus and get ready to go and get a quick start, because a team like Buckhorn, you don't want to let them have success early and go in the second half down. So the main thing is just go and don't beat yourself on the road. Make sure you're playing your best effort, and don't let the fact that you're on the road and new surroundings that we've not been to before kind of affect the game. So looking forward to another big game tonight.
Well, we certainly are, too. We will be starting our coverage a little before 7 o'clock. Austin Coletti and I will be on the call on 97.7 The Zone, our main feed. So please tune in, as we will be at Tommy Ledbetter Stadium tonight, as the Buckhorn Bucks will host Lance Reese's Guntersville Wildcats. Safe travels, Coach. We look forward to seeing the Wildcats tonight and continued success. And thank you so much for the time this morning on Talkin' Ball.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, that's Lance Reese, Guntersville head coach, with us this morning. Another big night of high school football is upon us, and we ran down some of the games that are being played around the area tonight. Decatur Heritage is going to welcome New Hope tonight. New Hope traveling over there. Of course, Nikita Stover, the head coach at Decatur Heritage.
And Tyler Johnson, first-year head coach at New Hope, and he's building a strong culture over there and looking to, get a big win on the road. But Nikita Stover, they've played pretty well over there. I believe they got a win last week for Decatur Heritage. And as you know, with what Steve Meek did over there, that's a program that's got a lot of expectations and a lot of excitement built around it. They're used to postseason runs and getting to the playoffs, and certainly Nikita is looking to continue that.
Fife will make that short drive over to Plainview tonight. Not a short road trip for there. Westminster Christian Academy will look to rebound from their loss last week. They're going to travel. This is a nice little road trip for them. They're going to travel out to Central Florence tonight for a road game. That's a good little haul. Got to pack up. Got to make sure the gas is full on the bus for that.
Don't forget any equipment.
Yeah, you don't want to forget anything because you can't just run back and grab it.
No, that's just kind of like the road trip for Guntersville. As Coach Reese said, they're traveling an hour and a half, 3 hours round trip to Newmarket to take on Buckhorn. And I think a lot of the matchup had to do with his familiarity with Pod Patterson and the Patterson family and coaching against Arab. And I'm sure Buckhorn also was looking for someone different to play and someone outside of the region that's a playoff team.
Right.
And Guntersville is. Even though it's a 5A versus a 6A, Guntersville can play with a lot of bigger schools and bigger classifications because they're a very good program with a strong culture with Lance Reese. As he said, he was the defensive coordinator under Coach Phil Ison when they won the state title against Eufaula in 2006. They did win the state title. I believe actually Athens beat Eufaula, pardon me. But again, they won the state championship, did Guntersville, and it's the first state championship in school history. And so he's been a part of that. He was elevated to head coach, and it's hard to believe he's already in his 13th season as the head football coach of the Guntersville Wildcats. But he is. It's been an amazing run for Guntersville, and certainly they've had a lot of success, especially in this last decade. They've really, and then so far, in the last 3 years, I think they're 24-3. So they just want to make a deeper playoff run. And some of the 5A matchups they've had, as far as the region they match up with, it's kind of like 7A Region 4 versus 7A Region 3. You just play some really good teams. Guntersville played a really good, talented Ramsey team in the first round. If they could have got by that game, there's no telling, what kind of run they could have made. But they're going to look to make a deeper run this year, and they've got a different 5A region. But like you heard Coach Reese say, that Arab game, if you don't want to look ahead, but Lee Osmont's Arab Knights are undefeated.
Yeah, they're having a heck of a year.
And that would be a great matchup. It's already a great rivalry, but now that they're in the same 5A region, there would be a lot at stake.
And of course, Guntersville has the oldest rivalry in the state of Alabama, and that is Guntersville and Albertville. That is something that North Alabama can claim right there. All right, let's get a break in. When we come back, we're going to continue to get you ready for a busy and crazy weekend of college football.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Good morning from the traffic center. Got a wreck on the Parkway southbound, south of 565. It's in the center lane, 3 vehicles involved. They're running it as an injury type. Not sure if anybody's hurt there or not. And they've still got Highway 20 stopped completely just before I-65, right in the construction area. Had a garbage truck on fire on the eastbound side, trying to get it moved off the roadway, but they've still got traffic backed up into the 3120Y. Someone dies from heart disease every 36 seconds. Dr. Randall Burns and the team at Huntsville Heart Specialists on Bob Wallace can help keep your heart healthy. Captain Nick in the Jordan Lane Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
All right, where are we going for breakfast?
I kind of want a breakfast quesadilla.
Oh, I didn't know they were doing quesadillas for breakfast these days.
Well, Taco Bell is.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, they have this Bell breakfast box now that comes with this breakfast quesadilla that's super cheesy and a hash brown.
Okay, I wish I knew about this earlier.
And it has Cinnabon Delights and a coffee in it.
Why did I not know about this earlier?
Try the new $5 Bell breakfast box, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations during breakfast hours only, 7 to 11 a.m. for a limited time. Contact local store for prices and participation when fair. Tax extra. Drinks exclude freezes.
One of the best-kept golf secrets in the Tennessee Valley is Cherokee Ridge. Cherokee Ridge truly offers golf at a higher level with immaculate greens set against a spectacular Appalachian backdrop. This 18-hole championship course takes every advantage of rolling hills, whispering woods, lakes, and streams. Interested in becoming a member? Their membership plans feature affordable options for couples, families, and individuals. Book your tee time today, 256-841-4551. Cherokee Ridge. Championship quality, affordable prices.
At Bryant Bank, we believe your goals are worth chasing, and every step along the way is worth celebrating. From your hopes for the future to the challenges that keep you up at night, we're here for you. Bryant bankers put care into action to help you live legendary by stepping up when you need us most and doing what's right even when no one is watching. Come experience a local bank whose people greet you by name and treat you like family. Bryant Bank, member FDIC.
When I chose a garage door company, I did my homework. I needed Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. They have a 5-star Google rating. I checked their reviews and liked what their customers had to say. Precision Overhead Garage Door has lifetime warranty packages. Same-day service if I call before 2 p.m. If they can't make it the same day, my service call fee the next day is waived. They did a 25-point safety inspection on the door and operator. Now that's peace of mind. Residential, commercial, and gate services. Precision Overhead Garage Door Service. Call 256-400-4500.
If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Hi everybody, Eli Gold here. Right now, indoor air quality occupies top-of-mind awareness for families and business owners. Rick Smith and the trusted professionals at Environmental Comfort Systems can take care of your indoor air quality concerns with their state-of-the-art indoor air quality solutions. Environmental Comfort's indoor air quality systems remove 99.9% of airborne contaminants so you and your family can breathe clean, fresh air. If anyone in your family suffers from allergies, or if you just want the security of knowing the air you breathe inside your home is free from viruses, bacteria, pet dander, dust, and odors, Environmental Comfort Systems are the professionals to call. Environmental Comfort also carries state-of-the-art, high-efficiency comfort systems that increase home comfort, keep humidity in check, and help you save money on your energy bills. Give my friend Rick a call or visit them online at envcomfort.com and breathe cleaner air today. Environmental Comfort Systems, Alabama license number 92314. Are you in the market for a recreational vehicle? Do you want to get out and see more of this beautiful country? Well, imagine hearing the laughter of your little ones enjoying gooey s'mores by a cozy campfire and making lasting memories with your friends and family from the comfort of a new camper. We can make your dreams come true at Hall's RV. With over 15 years in the camping business, we know how to get our customers into the perfect camper. We have several models and floor plans here for you to choose from, both new and used. We're family owned and operated with fantastic deals and great service. Everyone wants to work with people they can trust, so come on down to Hall's RV and get the deal of a lifetime. We'll treat you right and get you on the road in the camper of your dreams. Visit us on Highway 431 in Albertville. Hall's RVs, where we sell fun. Or see us on the web at www.hallsrvsales.com.
Organizations using Salesforce know how powerful the platform is and how much time, money, and headaches it saves if it's set up right and you know how to use it. Let's face it, Salesforce is complicated and time-consuming to figure out, and a lot can go wrong now and down the road without expert help. That's why most Salesforce users work with an implementation partner like Higher Echelon, so they get the absolute most out of their Salesforce investment. Higher Echelon is a 5-star Salesforce consulting partner who won Salesforce Military Hiring Partner of the Year. President Dr. Joe Ross is retired Army who played and later coached for the cadets. He puts that experience to good use at Higher Echelon, where they pride themselves on hiring veterans. Look, not all Salesforce partners are the same. Don't put your company at risk by going with an inferior partner. Higher Echelon is the trusted partner you can count on to get you up and running and seeing returns on your Salesforce investment in a fraction of the time it would take if you go it alone. Go to higherechelon.com. That's HIGHERECHELON.com to learn more. Go higher and go Army.
Coming up next, it's the Tom Abraham Show with me, Tom Abraham. Now back to more Talking Ball with Scott and Drew.
Welcome back, Talking Ball indeed. We are live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club, and it's our zone deal for the week. All you got to do is head to wzzn.halfoffdeal.com. You can get a round of golf and a cart for two for just $65, and you can use that today. So if you print it out, you can use it and get out here. Now, you may not want to come out here this afternoon at 1 o'clock because that is when they are having their Restore the Ridge event. And shotgun start at 1 o'clock, but it was good to see former Huntsville Havoc head coach John Gibson and player John Gibson, Mike DeGurse, Patterson.
Havoc reunion.
Yeah, they're all out here having some good times.
And now 35 gone.
Mike DeGurse is on. Yeah, they're all. Yeah, there's 24 of them left.
Yeah, so
we've already sold 36 of the 60.
Okay, well then one just sold in the last 30 seconds.
Yeah,
I just
so they're flying off the shelves.
So yeah,
probably about as many golf balls as what I'm going to need to get around this place. It's been a long time since I've been out here, but I have come equipped with plenty of golf balls to get around this golf course. Hey, we've talked a lot about what is coming in store for Alabama and Auburn this week. Local games of interest, of college note for this weekend. North Alabama head coach Chris Willis, they're at home tomorrow night. They're going to take on Tarleton at 6 o'clock at Brawley Stadium. UNA 1-2 on the year. Jacksonville State is going to travel to Nichols. Jacksonville State got beat by Tulsa last week. That was their first loss of the year. They're 3-1. They're going to travel to Thibodaux, Louisiana to take on Nichols. So those are your A-Sun matchups for tomorrow. And Alabama A&M, they are traveling to take on FAMU this weekend, Florida A&M. And I do want to note, and I know a lot of people probably remember James Spady, the former Alabama A&M head football coach.
Yep.
He is in a battle right now, a health battle that I did not know about until a couple days ago. A couple weeks ago during a game, he lost his vision.
Oh, wow.
It was a medical scare. They do not know when. Doctors do not know when James Spady will be able to regain his vision.
But they think he will.
They think he will be able to recover. He is an assistant coach with FAMU right now, and he was with Florida. He is with Florida A&M down there in Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. Doctors are very optimistic that he can recover, or that he will be able to recover his vision. But right now, he is without vision. I did reach out to his wife, James Spady's wife, and so thoughts and prayers with former Alabama A&M head coach James Spady as he is fighting to restore his vision there. But anyway, 256-576-4977, that's the number you can get in on the program this morning as we are live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club. National games of interest, if you are trying to pay attention to what is going on in the top 25. College game day could have gone there, but they're going to Tennessee. By the way, the Tennessee fans have already been camping out for this one, for college game day. But, Drew, Kansas and Duke, how about that? Kansas and Duke meeting each other, both of them undefeated, just going into Saturday.
And this isn't basketball, man.
Isn't that crazy? Oh, I do got to, and this is something, though, that I know you're going to love. And I stumbled upon this this morning. The Pac-12 commissioner, Pac-12, George Kliavkoff, did send a letter to the University of California Board of Regents. And this is his words. The Pac-12 will strongly support a reversal of UCLA's decision to join the Big Ten. He laid out multiple reasons why UCLA didn't fully think through the consequences of the move. He cited multiple factors in this letter and said that the travel time and travel costs could soar to as much as $23 million if they continue to charter flights. He said it also could affect Cal because of the Pac-12 media rights deal. And he said that it'd be a heavy ask for the current and future generations of UCLA student athletes to support a decision by the UCA Board of Regents to reverse the decision made by UCLA. He is urging the Board of Regents to reverse a decision made by UCLA to join the Pac-12 or join the Big Ten.
Has he seen UCLA's football crowds? They can't afford to reverse the decision. They need the $100 million a year, man.
My goodness! Saturdays with South Alabama was awful.
Well, no, it's been like that every game. It's just like. Wow, there's more people watching high school football in Alabama than there is at UCLA watching college football, and this is in a picturesque setting like the Rose Bowl. There's nobody coming to watch, and the great Chip Kelly was supposed to juice that program and everything, and they thought Jim Mora Jr. was bad. Yeah. Obviously they don't believe in the product that Chip Kelly's selling. They can't get anybody to come watch. Obviously people are excited about Lincoln Riley and USC, but I say that in context. I don't think that football's a big deal on the West Coast. I don't know why people aren't flocking out of there ad nauseum. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's a good brand of football. I don't think they'll win a championship anytime soon, and I know some of the fan bases are pretty good, but when you're talking about Los Angeles, and again, the reason the Big Ten recruited both those schools is the TV market. But how are you going to cover up? Are you going to tell them to put a big tarp on the stands, so with a big Big Ten logo, so they can cover up all the empty stands when USC and UCLA play, especially UCLA right now? It's just unbelievable. I thought that was a scrimmage when I first saw it. Now, scrimmages, that's normal. They don't allow a lot of people in it. But when somebody said, no, this is an actual photo, a real game, and I was like, oh, so this is not 3 hours before kickoff. They're like, no, this is during the game. And UCLA actually showed progress last year under Chip Kelly. And so I'm like, wow, there's that little enthusiasm for Bruin football. But then it all goes back to what we said.
But would there be that much enthusiasm for them to join the Big Ten?
I was going to say, now we understand. We've talked about how the insiders were saying UCLA's athletic department was talking about, if we didn't make this move to the Big Ten, we're going to have to cut sports.
Right.
Because they're hemorrhaging money. And they're hemorrhaging money because they can't sell tickets, Scott. They need the money. And Larry Scott did a very poor job with the Pac-12 network leading that conference. And I just think overall, when you look at UCLA, that's why they made this move. They needed to do something different and get a bigger TV deal so they can have more money coming into their program. And probably what they're eventually going to have to do is find the right guy as head coach. This is not the days of Terry Donahue, I can tell you that, where UCLA was churning out pros and going to Rose Bowls and people were excited about it, and Troy Aikman was playing there. This is awful.
Well, the Pac-12 commissioner said in the article, it's clear that UCLA and USC made a decision for short-term financial gain at the expense of their student athletes. It's 100% clear to me. It's really unfortunate. And I think they're already regretting it, giving the pushback that they've gotten from almost every corner of their communities. I think they will regret it as more time goes on. That was Pac-12 Commissioner George Kliavkoff on UCLA's move to the Big Ten. There's 100 million reasons, like you said, that they will not regret making that move to the Big Ten. I think they'll be fine. And I think there's stuff in the Big Ten. I think that there's a clause in there that a lot of these Big Ten, when they make those travels, that they help with the cost as well. So UCLA is not going to be footing the bill for every
not at all
travel cost that comes out.
That's a crutch that that the Pac-12 will use to try to get them to come back. But that's not going to be the be-all, end-all there, man. Trust me, with all the money they're going to be making, like I said, I still don't think they're going to touch the SEC athletically. But again, at least not in the Big Three sports. But
256-576-4977. That's how you can get in on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Give us a call on a Friday morning. And your thoughts on and expectations, I guess, for the weekend. Does Florida have enough in the tank to survive inside Neyland Stadium, or is this going to be a Tennessee romp on Saturday? Does Texas A&M?
Let's go Hogs! Even more so.
Does Texas A&M
run it up, Herman? Leave no doubt. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I can imagine you're going to watch that Texas A&M Arkansas game with the same amount of passion you watch an Alabama game on Saturday, because you are going to be pulling for the Hogs and Sam Pittman.
Yeah, because their
Saturday.
media are as fake as their head coach, man. I mean, I got to tell you, bro. I mean, you really. Some people show their true colors and their unprofessionalism at key times. I'll say that. I'm not going to, say much more, but that's all.
No.
But again, I'm definitely going to be rooting for Arkansas. I think Arkansas is going to win the game. I think they're tougher than Texas A&M.
I was going to say, are they the more physical team
there's
going
no
into this
question
one?
about that. Their culture is stronger. Texas A&M doesn't have a culture. Their head coach doesn't know how to run a program. Their head coach never should have won a national championship. He got lucky. Okay, that plain and simple. It was a fluke. That's what it was. And he's stealing money from Texas A&M, but they're too stupid to realize it. And, what I'm saying, that's why they'd have to pay him, $96 million right now to go away.
Right.
Again, I think the Aggies have good fans. I think they've got a beautiful stadium. I think they've got a very passionate fan base, but they've never known how to win. That's why they haven't won anything since 1939. They've never been to the SEC championship game. They're the Auburn of Texas. People would say, what I'm saying, because as far as that goes, because Auburn and Alabama is a huge rivalry, and with Texas A&M, it's Texas and Texas A&M. Except Auburn competes against Alabama. Auburn and Alabama is a great rivalry. Auburn, has beaten Nick Saban more than anyone.
Right.
And Auburn right now has the best baseball program in the state. Auburn has an outstanding basketball program. The thing is, and they don't try to run from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? They want to compete. Texas A&M decided they wanted to get away from Texas because, to me, they were scared to compete. And so, and that's why they were so bitter when Texas got into the SEC. And now they're going to have to renew that rivalry. You think you'd want to. It's good for your state to play each other. And so, to me, that's what makes Alabama and Auburn the greatest rivalry in college sports, because it's in the same state. It's very, very passionate. Because Alabama's the flagship university of the state, just like Texas is, and then Texas A&M and Auburn in the same state, big-time programs. But unlike Texas A&M, Auburn wants to compete and wants to try to win and win in every sport and win at the highest level. Texas A&M wants to run from Texas.
So you bring up Auburn, and let's say things head down the path that we ultimately think they're going to head down in, and that is Brian Harsin no longer the head coach of Auburn. Is Auburn at the crossroads like where Tennessee was when they hired Josh Heupel? Can they can't afford to have another coach come in and continue to set back this program, right? Are they kind of at that crossroads where Tennessee was at, where you went through a Derek Dooley, you went through Butch Jones?
I wouldn't say that, only because, look, when you look at Auburn, they won the game in 2019. That's just a couple years ago.
Right.
Okay?
Against Alabama.
Yeah, they lost in 20. COVID was a weird year. And honestly, they were one play away if Tank Bigsby doesn't run out of bounds from beating Alabama last year. So they've still, been competing, unlike Texas A&M, who doesn't want to play Texas and, just wants to, basically be Old Yeller, to quote the movie. They don't want any part of it. Auburn nearly won that game. Matter of fact, I've said it repeatedly. If they had beaten Alabama, and it looked like they definitely were going to, and they win the bowl game, because I think if they'd have beaten Alabama, they would have won the bowl game.
Yes, you're playing with a lot more momentum.
There's nothing. I don't even think we're talking about Brian Harsin. being on the hot seat right now. I think this season would have gone differently. I think they would have had
been
better
talking
players.
about the injuries
I think more guys
and all
would have
that
stayed.
stuff. And
there would have been a coup. They probably would have been able to attract more guys out of the transfer portal. They would have, even if they had lost to Penn State, it probably would have been a much closer, more competitive game. And you're not going to be on the hot seat for that.
Do you think Bo Nix would have stayed if they'd beaten Alabama?
That's hard to say. I think there would have been a much better chance that he would have. I just think he just didn't like where the roster was right now. But again, don't forget, I mean, Auburn can turn things around quickly. I know that things have changed a lot, even in the last decade, but they went 3-9 in 2012. And then they turned around in the first year under Gus Malzahn and should have beat Dirt Neck for the national championship. They were up 20-3.
Yeah, well, you go back to 2003, the year before they go – the year before that, they think they should have been in the BCS. 2004 year when Tommy Tuberville was there. The year before that was a disaster. And then, because it was a disastrous year.
Well,
and then they come back the next year and
it was mediocre. It wasn't a losing season.
Right.
I mean, and again, Tuberville where Tuberville saved himself was he got destroyed in the Iron Bowl in 2001, and so there was a lot of pressure on him in 2002. There was, if he hadn't have beaten Alabama and Tuscaloosa in the Iron Bowl, then I believe that ended up being 17-7. Then I don't think he keeps the job. But he won that game, and then he wins in 2003. He was beating Alabama.
Yeah, they were 8-5 in 2003.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a mediocre year, but it was. And then the next year, he goes undefeated. And, back then there wasn't the BCS. There wasn't a 14 playoff. He certainly would have been in a 14 playoff. Might have had a chance to be in a BCS.
Yeah, it was BCS in 2004. They had the BCS because it was Oklahoma and USC that year.
Oh, okay, my bad. Well, okay.
Remember in 2004?
I guess I should say then, if there had been a 14 playoff, he would have been in it, and he would have had a chance to compete for it. But he actually got lucky there, too, because I'm just going to be honest. In that particular year in 2004, USC was on a different level than everybody else. Because if you remember, Tuberville took some heat, because they went 8-5 in 2003. And remember the first game they played against USC and Auburn and got shut out.
Yeah, they
USC
got
dominated
23-0.
And Auburn was thought to be a ranked team that year and thought to be an SEC contender and wasn't. But again, he turned that around quickly in 2004. They went undefeated. And actually for him, it was a silver lining, because he got to beat Virginia Tech in the Sugar Bowl, got to go undefeated, and didn't have to play USC, because I think it would have been a mismatch. I still do. Even though Auburn could run the ball, they had Carnell and Ronnie Brown and Jason Campbell and Carlos Rogers, a great football team. I still don't think they were USC, because if you remember, USC destroyed that Oklahoma team 55-10. I just think USC, that was Pete Carroll's best team. I think they were on a different level.
You're right.
The next year in 2005, they were a great team too, but they lost to Vince Young in Texas. And I think what was really hard about that is, and this is what Nick Saban talks about sustaining success and feeding the beast, and and every year being different. It's hard to stay focused, because there's the glitz and the glamour, and it's Hollywood and all this stuff, and there's all this pressure on you, and it was tough for USC to continue to play to the standard, even though they almost did. And then Vince Young was an unbelievable college player, and Mac Brown's team showed a lot of resiliency and won that game, and that pretty much made Mac's career. But again, like I've said, it's just one of those things. Auburn this is a rivalry with Alabama in every aspect. It's the best in the country. Probably the second best is Duke, North Carolina basketball, then Ohio State and Michigan. But again, Texas and Texas A&M right now isn't even a series, because one team is yellow as the day is long.
All right, we're going to get that final break in. We're live from Cherokee Ridge Country Club to wrap it up next.
You're listening to Talkin' Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
Just got a wreck on Governors. This one's going to be northbound about Park Hill, and one on 65 southbound near 565 is coming in as a no injury. Kohler and Mountain Gap Trail also was a no injury. It looks like they still have all the eastbound traffic stopped on Highway 20 coming out of Decatur. That's just before I-65. Had a garbage truck on fire there. That traffic's back through the 3120Y and about halfway back down to the bridge coming out of Decatur. The Cajun rice is back at Popeyes, and their 11-piece chicken family meal, 2 sides and 5 biscuits, is now only $22.99. Popeyes, University and Jordan, 72 and Jeff and North Parkway. Captain Nick in the Popeyes Skywatch Traffic Center.
Football season is here, and as always, the best place to catch every game is downtown at Humphreys Bar and Grill. Humphreys is celebrating by bringing back their game day football specials. $2.50 Miller Lite, Yingling, and now $3.50 Yellowhammer Gold Pints. Anytime football is on. Live music continues every night with 5 o'clock Charlie, and don't forget about brunch on Sundays with Microwave Dave. The best place to catch all the games all season long is Humphreys Bar and Grill.
Your favorite sports book, BetUS.com, is back for their 28th year of NFL action. With the industry's biggest sign-up bonus of up to 200%, BetUS offers their members the opportunity to cash in on all your favorite leagues, including college football and the NFL. They've also got hundreds of new casino games, including the coolest European slots, and their live dealers are waiting for you at the tables. Sign up at BetUS.com and use the promo code WZZN. That's BetUS.com and the promo code WZZN.
AVIQ. Who is AVIQ? AVIQ is audiovisual the intelligent way, where we put our IQ to work for your AV needs. With more than 100 years combined experience in audio, video, and automation, our team of experts is dedicated to one thing: helping you discover technological solutions that make your home special. Once you experience a game or a movie on one of our state-of-the-art home theater systems, you may never leave the house again. AVIQ can build the entire system for you or provide the quality components if you're a do-it-yourselfer. But AVIQ is more than just home theater and state-of-the-art sound systems. We offer a variety of control options for home technology. Energy efficiency, heightened security, and improved quality of life are all attainable through the automation of home systems. Intuitive and user-friendly control is our main priority in designing a system that meets your needs. Don't just take our word for it. You need to see it to believe it. Come visit us at our state-of-the-art showroom on University, just east of Jim and Nick's, across from AT&T, or visit aviqhsv.com.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of the Stanton Law Firm. Stan, I guess you are the Stanton in the law firm.
Yes, Wes, that's me, and we started the Stanton Law Firm so that myself and 4 other attorneys with me can help clients litigate, negotiate, and creatively solve legal and real estate problems.
Now, Stan, you grew up on a family farm in this area and have made a name closing on houses and land with your closing company, Jacob Title.
I grew up on a farm which used to be in the country. That, plus having closed on so many homes and farms, one of my colleagues started referring to me as a classic dirt lawyer. Now, I didn't know how to take that at first, that tag, but I realized that's exactly what I do and what I am.
Dan, I know the attorneys at Stanton Law Firm are regular listeners, and we plan to have you on periodically. You and I have seen have impacted this community.
Stay tuned, and you may hear about friends like Steve Booker, Clarence Johnson, Thomas Boyd, and even a few of those offensive line hogs like Hoss Johnson, and maybe you remember some other of those guys too.
I remember Clarence Johnson. He beat us one year. He was unbelievable.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Waiting was such a mistake. That's one of the things we hear most after we've successfully treated one of our patients for erectile dysfunction. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, we want you to know first and foremost that waiting is a mistake, because the longer you wait, the more difficult it can be to treat your ED. Using what you've got is important, not just for your relationship, but for your overall health. There's some truth to the phrase, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. At the Huntsville Men's Clinic, we'll fight for your ability to consistently perform without the anxiety that so many men experience. In fact, you might even find you're performing like you haven't in a long time. We only treat ED and low T at the Huntsville Men's Clinic, and we've successfully treated many men with protocols that are effective in nearly 90% of cases. We also have the full complement of treatments, including acoustic wave therapy, so you get the one that works best for you. So don't wait. Make an appointment. For just $99, you'll get a medical consultation, blood work, and if medically advised, a test dose. Call today, 256-368-0333. That's 256-368-0333, or go to HuntsvilleMen'sClinic.com.
What's better than Valley Equipment Rental? 2 Valley Equipment Rentals, and that's just what we have now. The original on the South Memorial Parkway between Drake and Airport Road, and their second location on North Memorial Parkway just north of Winchester Road. Valley Equipment is locally owned and has more skid steers, excavators, and lifts than anyone in the area, plus all the small tools that you need to get the job done like a pro. And if you are a pro, you need to check out the new North location now because Valley Equipment has what you need. Learn more at valleyequipmentrents.com.
Local sports is covered right here.
Well, appreciate what you guys do for sports, but also for high school sports and taking time to talk to us. That means a lot, and appreciate what you guys do, and appreciate you having us on.
97.7 ESPN The Zone. This segment of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Hey, welcome back, Talking Ball. That's it.
Time flies when you have fun at Cherokee Ridge and you sell a lot of rounds of golf.
We are. It's been a fun day, though. I tell you what, we've watched the sun come up.
We've watched people mow grass. We've watched people use a leaf blower. We've watched a lot of people walk through here. We saw a Huntsville Havoc reunion. I saw Mark Thompson, Rodney Crone's dad. It was great.
Yep. Now I'm going to go play some golf.
Yeah. Enjoy your golf, Scott.
We're gonna enjoy high school football tonight.
We're going to enjoy the Woody Anderson High School Football Scoreboard Show. Austin Colletti and I will be out at Buckhorn, Tommy Ledbetter Stadium. Buckhorn in Guntersville. We look forward to it. And again, congrats on the Randolph Raiders being the team of the week this week. It was great being out there yesterday.
All right, that's going to do it.
University Kia tomorrow morning.
That's right. 10 to 12, University Kia. We'll be back at it.
Mercury Motors is your car and van rental headquarters. You can rent the vehicle you need today. Family in town, sporting event, church function, no matter what your need, Mercury Motors has you covered with a wide selection of cars and vans available for rent. They have 12-passenger Mercedes Sprinter vans, 12-passenger Ford Transit vans, 15-passenger Ford Transit vans, and 15-passenger Chevrolet Express vans. They have 2 locations, Highway 72 in Athens or Max Luther Drive in Huntsville.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Brian Hamaker and his team at North Alabama Mortgage. Look, buying a home is the biggest purchase you will make in your life, and it can be a bit intimidating, so you want people that can help walk you through the mortgage process and get you the best deal possible. That's what North Alabama Mortgage does, and they do it in Alabama, Tennessee, and Florida, from first-time purchases to refis, conventional, VA, FHA, and USDA loans. They have the solution at North Alabama Mortgage. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Tired of the same old menu options everywhere you go? Then you need to try Metro Diner in Huntsville and Madison. The award-winning Metro Diner serves up signature dishes like their Charleston shrimp and grits, famous fried chicken and waffles with strawberry butter, and lots more. Their entire menu is available anytime, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And stop by for brunch on Saturday or Sunday and enjoy the lowest price mimosas in town. Airport Road, Huntsville, and Highway 72 in Madison. In diner or at home, make it Metro Diner.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update.
Braves fall to the Phillies in their series opener by a final score of 1-0.
A-list season ticket members receive the best seats at the lowest prices, first access to postseason tickets, and so much more. Learn more at Braves.com/A-list.
3-2. Swung on, missed, strike 3, and the Phillies take game 1. For the Braves in the ninth, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. Final score, Phillies 1, Braves nothing.
It was a windy and cold night in Philadelphia. Atlanta struggled to get the bats going, getting shut out by the Phillies in the first of 4 at Citizens Bank Park. The lone run for the Phillies scored in the bottom of the second inning with a sacrifice fly from Matt Vierling. Later on in the game, Atlanta did threaten in the 6th, loading the bases with 2 outs, but Michael Harris grounded out to first, and that was Atlanta's final chance to get a run on the board as the Braves were shut out and fell a game and a half behind the New York Mets in the National League East. Looking ahead to tonight's game, it'll be Jake Odorizzi on the mound for Atlanta as he gets the start at Citizens Bank Park. Odorizzi's last start came against the Phillies. He gave up 1 run in 4 2/3. Meanwhile, Aaron Nola opposes him. The right-hander's last start against Atlanta, he gave up 4 runs in 7 innings, and in his career is 14-10 with an ERA of 3.5 against the Braves. We'll have you set and